Hey guys. Before we even get into this video, don't mind this. I literally just did my nails like less than 2 hours ago, and while I was preparing for this video, this one popped up. We're actually gonna act like she exists, like there's one here. Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video on my channel. So in this video, I'm actually really excited. Not really excited, but I think it's a cool idea and a good way to officially wrap up my freshman year of college here on YouTube, at least, because I mentally already wrapped her up about 3 weeks ago. So yeah, today's video we're going to be looking through one of my past videos titled My First Semester at ODU, and we're going to be going through that video and looking at a couple of points I made and advice that I gave and things I was hoping for the spring semester. Do I still agree with those points? Any of my dreams for the spring semester come true? We're gonna find out in today's video. So I like this video idea. I feel like it's a good way to connect my fall semester and my spring semester of my freshman year of college, and it's a good way to jumpstart into my sophomore year. I am a sophomore in college. I began this pandemic as a spring semester senior in college. I am leaving this pandemic, or close to the end of the pandemic, a sophomore in college. It's been one HE double hockey sticks of a ride, but we're here. I'm still alive. I'm halfway vaccinated. I actually get my second shot tomorrow. And we're all good. You're gonna see me channeling my inner teacher because I have this cardigan. Let's get started with today's video. So I have my little handy dandy mini clipboard to keep me on track. And throughout this video, I'll be inserting clips from the previous video. I'm gonna apologize for the sound now because I've already pre-screen recorded the clips. The sound sounds terrible because it's recording it from my speaker audio. So it's my speakers on my computer hearing the audio coming from my computer. So it sounds a little wretched, but I think you guys will get the gist. So the first point I have on here is classes. And let's insert the clip of how I felt about my classes last semester. About my experience on campus for this fall semester. So to start off, I'm going to talk about my classes and stuff. I loved all of my classes. That's a lie. I lied a little bit. I didn't love all my classes, but I liked all my classes. There was nothing that I no teacher that I despised, no class that I truly dreaded going to. Notice how I said there was no class that I really dreaded going to. That was kind of a lie, because there was one class I dreaded going to just because the teacher wasn't very interesting. Yeah. In my classes for the spring semester that I have had at this point, I did have a class I in fact hated this semester. It was gonna have to be a first at some point. I absolutely hated, and it's funny because my African American Studies class. Now, I talk about all the classes I was, at that point when I made that video, it was the videos I was going to be taking, but obviously at this point in this video, I have already taken the classes, and I was so excited for my African American Studies. Also, if it sounds like I'm whispering, I kind of am because my mom is asleep. I was so excited to take my African American Studies course, and it failed me. I'm going to try to use my kindest words to describe this class. First of all, it was from 4:20 to 7 p.m. Though my teacher never ever went to 7 p.m., she never went to 7 p.m. She might have the first class, but that's just because she was introducing herself and we all introduced ourselves, and there was a lot of kids in the class. But anyway, besides that, we never went to 7 o'clock. We usually stopped around 6:30-ish. Y'all, I don't know. I'm sure there's other professors for that class. I'm not gonna say any names because, I don't want to slander anybody on the internet, but the professor I had, garbage. He left a fat, terrible review for my professor, because at the end of every semester, you get a survey sent to your school email, you have to fill it out. A lot of teachers will give extra credit if you fill that out, or they really encourage you to fill it out because they get to see your responses, and I don't think they see exactly who said what, but they see your responses so they know how they can be a better professor or a better teacher. I let the girls know about my professor for my African American Studies class. My first bone to pick with that class is it had absolutely no structure. My professor was very, you could tell they were very used to in-person classes, and their classes were very discussion based. Like it was, this is how they said it. It was supposed to be very discussion based, like we're having a conversation, we're learning through conversation. That was problem number one, because I don't learn that way. She wasn't teaching, but I don't know, like it was just a really, my teacher's structure was terrible. Like first of all, no PowerPoint. It's a class from 4:20 to 7 p.m. We only went to about 6 to 6:30. Talked the whole time. No PowerPoint, no point of reference to look at. We didn't really know what we were supposed to be writing down unless they always said this. You're gonna see this again. You're gonna see this again. And mind you, I said this was discussion based, but my professor talked the whole time and only asked for our input maybe 2 to 3 times throughout the entirety of the class. Like it was agonizing. It was agony in that class. And I was so excited because, as you can see, that's nail polish. As you can see, I'm African American, as black as they come. So like I was really excited to learn some new stuff. I think my main problem was thinking it was African American history. And that wasn't the case. It was more of like, it was called African American Studies. So you were learning about, like, I couldn't tell you. You were learning a lot of history, but I didn't really learn anything because my teacher was so bad. Like, y'all, I can't even describe it to you.
This is Tania in editing, but basically, since I'm so terrible at describing stuff, I think the reason I didn't like that class, besides the teacher's teaching structure, is we didn't learn anything that we didn't already know. Like we learned about how brutal slavery was, and we learned about the psychological damages of slavery and how it still affects us today. We didn't learn anything that we didn't already know. And then we also, like, most of her class structure was just watching movies, and she couldn't get movies to work on Zoom. So she basically had to improvise after a while, and half the stuff we were supposed to learn we didn't learn. She would take like photocopies of like random articles about like African American history, and that was like our textbook. Like that's how we learned stuff. And then on tests and stuff, she would ask us questions regarding the reading, but it would basically be her interpretation. So the question would be like, what did this say in the reading? And I would go based on what the reading said, but it was really asking about her interpretation of the reading that she said in class that nobody was paying attention to. You feel me? She was a really high and mighty professor that, like, not to mention she was just rude, and she wasn't, like, she was always like, if you guys have any questions, but we went to ask a question, she was talking smart outside of her neck, and it was just like, no ma'am, do not recommend at all.
Like literally our group chat was just us talking sugar honey iced tea about my professor. Like that's all we really ever did, or we were expressing confusion over an assignment. But I ended up with an A. Don't know how. I'm just gonna stop here, but I can't stand that professor, and I was so ready for it to be over. Ended it with an A, not an A minus, but an A. Don't know how. Couldn't tell you how. But I'm not regretting it. Period. I also said something about how I did not struggle last semester. Yeah, that changed a little bit this semester. I was good with all of my classes except for the African American Studies class because my teacher needs to retire, and my scientific reasoning and psychology class. That's fancy words for statistics. It was a statistics class where you learned both about psychology, like psychology principles, and then you connected it with statistics. I've never in my life been good at math. This was like all new to me for the most part. I ended up with a C+ in the class, which broke my heart because I was like so close to a B. So close to it. You know something really annoying? I had straight A's, but that one class.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I had all A's and then a C+. That hurt my feelings, but I've always been a good student, but I've never been good at math. Anyways, I had not a really hard time, but a pretty hard time with that class. It was really difficult for me. I ended up with a C, so that's not like the worst thing ever. The next point I have on here is how high school teachers be capping. Insert clip.
Much as high school teachers like to make it seem like college is this oh so difficult thing, school-wise, it's not. For me, personally, I didn't struggle that much. There weren't that many things that I really struggled with in my classes.
Yeah, I still stand on that. Even though I said like it was slight work, like school was slight work last semester, it was still pretty much just semester 2 besides those 2 classes. Like, let me put it like this. If you were an AP or honor student, mainly this goes for AP students, and you've taken AP classes in high school, they are ODing. That means overdoing it for the old heads in the chat. They are ODing. Not overdosing, but overdoing it. They are exaggerating so hard. And I know it's better to over prepare than under prepare. So they're kind of in the right direction. But I experienced more stress in my AP classes in high school than I ever experienced in my college classes, besides the statistics class. Like, AP classes do come in handy because I didn't have to take 2 classes. I wouldn't have had to take 3 if I finished my dual enrollment course, but we dropped that like a hot pancake when the pandemic started. AP classes did get me out of taking 2 like introductory level courses. I got out of intro to psychology because I took AP Psych and got a 3 on the exam, and then I got out of an English composition class that most freshmen have to take because I took AP English Language and Composition my junior year of high school. So, and got a 3 on the exam. So it does come in handy in that fact because the less classes you take, the more money you save, and the less time you're in school, so the quicker you graduate. But other than that, it doesn't do much for you, but stress you out more than you need to be. But like I said, it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, so I see what the teachers are trying to do there. But I stressed more about my AP classes in high school than I have stressed about a single class in college, and I stand on that all 10 toes. It's not all like sunshine and rainbows. I did have a couple classes that stressed me out. Other than that, them high school teachers doing way too much, or like entirely too much. Next point is rate my professor through my 8 words. Insert clip now.
I thought all my classes were easy. I think a big part of that was rate my professor. Anybody picking their classes, or anybody coming to ODU or any college, when you're picking your classes, they'll try to tell you not to check. Well, I don't know. ODU tried to say, don't worry about rate my professor. Don't look at that yet. Just pick out your classes. Lies. Very much no. Very much do what you need to do. Do what you got to do. Check rate my professor before you pick your classes. Push might come to shove, you have to take the class regardless of whether or not the teacher is like a 5-star, has a 5-star rating on rate my professor. But my first semester, I think it was so good and so not flawless, but so easy to me was because of picking good teachers.
That website is still crucially important, and it really goes to show how much it matters with my classes this semester. For instance, my African American Studies teacher on Rate My Professor, they didn't have any ratings, like no ratings, like you couldn't even find them on Rate My Professor. Was a terrible teacher. All my other teachers, like even with the scientific reasoning, the statistics class, the teacher is a really good teacher. I'm just stupid at math, like I can't do math. My other teachers, banging. Especially, I'm gonna call out one professor because I love this woman. She made reading literature and reading things from all around the world so incredibly interesting. Dr. Lee Slater. Yeah, get into it. Love that woman. Forgot what it was, but there's like categories of classes, and you have to take a class or two from each category to complete your genetic requirement. Wherever Introduction to World Literature and Cultures is, take that class and take it with Miss Lee Slater. Get into it. That woman, a saint. All my professors that I saw on Rate My Professor that had a good rating did what they had to do. They did exactly what had to be done. And very much did. Highly recommend you looking on Rate My Professor when you're scheduling your classes. This is specifically for freshmen because you're going to be scheduling soon, like for orientation in like June or July. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to do what they did to me. My advisors literally told me, don't look at Rate My Professor. Did it anyway. I did it anyway. And it really helped because Rate My Professor don't lie, babe. They don't lead you astray. They have not led me astray at all. Besides when they don't have a professor on there, so you kind of can't gauge. But I would say if they don't have a rating, it's for a reason. Take that with what you will. Next we have friends. Roll the clip.
I made friends in a really odd way. I made friends because of a girl just being extremely outgoing and very, very bubbly and very nice. That's a very unconventional way of making friends nowadays because not a lot of people are like Zenora. Not a lot of people like me are comfortable just going up to people and being like, hey, you want to be friends with me? Because if they say no, I'm going to go home and I'm going to cry. So, yeah, it's going to be hard for me to give advice about making friends in school because I literally got friends handed to me on a silver platter.
Yeah, we turned a big 180.
Hey y'all, I look busted right now, but I just wanted to say I took a lot out from the clip. I inserted from my last video because I talked a lot about like how exactly the friend group I had came to be, and I just thought it was like too much information. Like, I don't know, like, but basically, if you guys didn't understand, I made my friend group last year because one girl, well, I made like 2 friends on my own, and then everybody else came from this girl named Zenora. Every time somebody walked past us when we were hanging out outside, she would say, do you want to be friends? And the people that stayed and talked to us became our friend group. And yeah, but you'll see now that that is no longer the case.
On the whole friends thing, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I quickly outgrew the friend group I was in, and I learned that big friend groups, especially mixed with the boys and girls, not only are they not for me, but they never work. They never work, babe. They never work. With all the advice I gave in that last clip or whatever I said about how I made my friends and stuff, I'm not friends with half those people no more. I'm only friends with about, can mostly say like 2 to 3 people now. Not including like some of my friends from home. Like these are from that friend group of like, that was 11, 12 deep last semester. Yeah, 2 to 3 of those people are my friends. And none of them are the boys. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it because it doesn't really matter. And like trying to explain like everything that happened. Oh my god, let me use the other hand. Trying to explain everything that happened is just a little too much. But they're just not my people. They're not my people. And that's okay. It's okay, babe. They just want my people. And that's all I can really say about it. But mixed friend groups and big friend groups with a lot of people and a lot of personalities and a lot of morals and a lot of different ways of life and living, it's not always gonna work. It's not always gonna work. So, like I said, take that with what you will, but I now only have 2 to 3 friends. And they're all girls. So, keep your circle small. Keep it small, keep it cute. You can have a big group of acquaintances, but keep your group of close friends small. because you're gonna come to ODU. ODU is a pretty good school. We like 24K students deep. There's a lot of personalities, a lot of people out there that you might think is your friend, and that just might not be the case. And it's okay if they're not your person and they're not your people and you don't want to hang out with them. It don't gotta be no type of beef. It don't gotta be any type of like situation. Like, you just leave them if you please, babe. Come here and say, leave them if you please, babe. It's never that deep. Not everybody's meant to be friends. Not everybody's meant to be your friend. So, advice when getting friends. Best way I say, follow, like I said, I don't think I recorded this part, but I said this in my last video. Follow a lot of people from ODU on your Instagram. Because I have a lot of people that will ask me to like, not a lot of people, but I've had a few people that like have messaged me through Instagram. We talked a little bit through Instagram. One girl, I messaged her and we were talking a little bit. We actually met up on campus, walked around, talked, got to know each other a little bit. So follow people from ODU on your Instagram. They don't have to specifically be in your class, but it might be a little bit more comfortable if they're a part of your class. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Quote, campus activities, or the lack thereof. Roll the clip.
I was just going to touch on campus activities and things you can do on campus or the lack thereof. I'm going to be honest with y'all. There's not that much to do on campus. Yes, people are still partying. If you're going to risk your life like that, fine. You're playing with the devil, and you're going to deal with that when you see the Lord himself. But not me. Not me. Tania no party. Tania no party. There's not that much to do on campus. The school and the different organizations affiliated with the school will put on things like ice cream and cake, where you can just go to a certain location on campus, get some ice cream and get a cupcake. They're always giving away free food. There was a really cool event like the day I left that was pretty cool, where they were giving away AirPods. You got to play a game, obviously, but they're giving away AirPods, candy, food, drinks. I sold 2 Dr. Peppers because I'm a G, and that's what I do. They have really, really cool events on campus that you can go to, but you can't really meet people because of, this certain virus. It's kind of hard to really have fun. You can always just go with your little group of friends, but those are only but so fun, because social distancing,
Not much has changed in that department. There still isn't much on this past semester. There wasn't much to do on campus. We were often quite bored on the weekends, trying to figure out something to do that wasn't going to hurt the pockets any more than we already had hurt the pockets the previous weekend. We struggled to find things to do. I mean, we found stuff to do for the most part, but it was a struggle. Student orgs still aren't out and about. I did see, so like about a 3 week, no, maybe like 2 weeks ago, a week, maybe, I don't know, a week before I moved out, there was some Zetas and Iotas, which is 2 D9 organizations. If you don't know what D9 is, you would really get lost. D9, sorority, and fraternity, and they were stepping outside of my window. Also saw some Iotas at the Project in Third Down. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not really familiar with the Iotas. Like, I don't know if they have like a nickname like the Kappas or the Q Dogs. But y'all, we don't even have Q Dogs. If you didn't know, you can go, if you're into like Greek life or you're interested in pledging anything like that, you can go on ODU's website and go to their Greek life, and it'll give you the status of every single Greek organization on campus. Like, are they on campus? Are they in good standing? Are they open? How many members? What do they do for the campus? Stuff like that. Like, you can go on the website and see all that type of stuff. And when I was going on there just looking, see what they had on campus that wasn't all white. I saw the Q Dogs got suspended a couple years ago. So to Hampton I go to see them stroll. Or NSU. We in between, babe. We in between. They were a little bit more active. Some of the like other student organizations, like it was mainly Student Activities Council. They had like, was that this semester or last semester? I think that was last semester. Yeah, that was last semester, what I'm thinking about. But they had silent headphone party. it was really like, it was weird because only like 3 people were in there besides my friends, and they were playing live music. Like, it was turned, but it's only turned when like other people are there, so it was kind of whack. But they be trying this. They had like the fried chicken throwdown. Everybody and their mama was there, and whoever was on the aux at Broderick Dining Commons for the fried chicken throwdown, you deserve an award, because the bops were there, babe. It was there. It was there. If you watched my last video, you would know I had to go into quarantine for a week because I was in close contact with somebody that had COVID. And the day I left to go into quarantine and got picked up, they had a mini golf with the DJ in the quad. It was glow in the dark mini golf. That looked really fun. They also had a painting session with the DJ as well. So the Student Activities Council tries to get you into it, or housing and residence life will try to have events for us to do on campus, but it's not as live as it usually is, you know what I mean? And once again, if you watch my last video, the only like activity I've joined, which is kind of not like an activity because it's a job, is being a campus ambassador, giving the campus tours and things like that. So I still haven't joined any campus organizations. However, campus is fully reopening next semester. So everything's supposed to be open. It'll be hybrid classes still, like some will be in person, some will be online depending on what you picked. It's supposed to be fully reopening, babes. Fall 2021. So I'm excited for that. Next point I have is classes in the spring semester update. I'm just really excited for the African American Studies course. And like I said, I took Introduction to African American Studies, Scientific Reasoning and Psychology, Statistics, Interpersonal Communication, Introduction to World Literature and Cultures, and Introduction to Ethics. All A's for all of those classes. And all the teachers were pretty good. Like I said, couldn't stand my African American Studies teacher. Oh my god, like at all. Somehow I got a high A in that class, don't ask me how. Got Introduction to Interpersonal Communications. Really liked that teacher. She was very easy to talk to, and her class was discussion based, but we were actually having discussions. And I understood what I was learning because we had a textbook and we had terms and little quizzes and stuff we had to take, and assignments that pertained to the material. Introduction to Ethics, I liked that teacher as well. That was an asynchronous class though, so I didn't really get to know her as well as I did with my teachers that had a Zoom class and stuff. But Introduction to Ethics teacher, she was really, really nice. It felt pretty easy. It's just ethics is such a kind of hard to learn, but I got an A- in the class. And I already expressed my love for Dr. Lee Slater in my World Literatures and Cultures class, so she know the vibes. She know the vibes. My Scientific Reasoning and Psychology class, that's the class I got a C+ in. But my teacher was really, really good. He did little study sessions and stuff, even though that class was asynchronous as well. He did little study sessions with us, and he was really, really flexible. But story time. Small story time, babes. On that. So, that teacher, his name was Dr. Ian Katz. He was really, really nice. Very flexible teacher. Got a good review on me on the little end of course survey. However, so I had been struggling in that class. Anyway, let me chug a little bit before I get into this story. I was dead set on getting a good grade on my next test. So this was the second. This was exam 2 out of 4. I didn't do good on the first exam, so I was determined, and it made my grade go down to a C. So I was determined to get a good grade on this next test so I could bring my grade up to a B. And so I studied all week. I attended the study session. I was dead set on getting a good grade on this test, okay? At this point, I was in a group me for that class. You don't know, group me in college, group me is a group chat with all of your classmates, and all it needs is your email address to put you in a group. So For most of my classes, I had a group me, and it's really just to help each other out. Like if you have questions on the assignments, if you need help with assignments that have collaborative work allowed on them, like your teacher says you can work together with other classmates on this assignment. But a big problem with group me's is people send test answers, and cheating in college and cheating in high school is two completely different ball games. Like you can be put on academic probation, and you can like get kicked out of like organizations. Like it's a big deal to cheat in college. Group me's have a issue with people that cheat. Yeah, you can see where this story is going. The day before I took the test, I was minding my business and my phone kept blowing up from one of my group me's, and it was the group me for that my scientific reasoning class. And I was looking at it, a girl was sending test answers. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna utilize these, but she can send them if she won't. So girl was sending a bunch of test answers. I'm like, okay, she ODing, but whatever, I'm not gonna use them. So the next day I take the test on my own, and I end up getting like a B on it. I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. And so I took the test, real proud of myself, got a B, all on my own notes, my own knowledge, period queen, get into it. A little bit later in the day, I get an email from my teacher. And my teacher says,
I have been made aware that somebody sent the test answers in a group chat. Now, there are only 10 people in the course that have taken the test. So I know it was one of y'all that sent the answers. So either one of y'all, either the person who did it step up, or all 10 of y'all are being sent to the academic board and will face repercussions.
When I tell y'all the sheer panic that went through my tiny body, I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I sat in my bed for like 5 minutes, and then I called my dad and I was about to start crying. I was like, because like I said, cheating in college is no joke. And I didn't even cheat. The answers were on my, like in the group chat. I did not use them. I used my own notes, my own knowledge, my own big body brain to get a B on this test. And this trick gonna get me on academic probation for something I didn't do? No ma'am. So I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm like, Dad, I don't know what to do. Like, this girl took the test answers in the group chat, and I didn't even use the answers, but he's saying he's gonna send us all to the academic board if she doesn't turn herself in, and I wouldn't turn myself in. Like, if I was her, like, what the heck? Yes, I would. I would turn myself in. But like, I'm thinking like, what if this person doesn't turn themselves in? At this point, it hit the group chat that they sent this. The email hit the group chat, so we're having dialogue about what the email said, and this one girl was like,
y'all, I have a kid. I cannot afford to be put on academic probation. Like, it's gonna hurt my future, and I didn't cheat, I didn't use them.
I'm thinking the same thing. I sent this message to the group chat so quick. I said, he said, if the person who did it does not step up, he's sending all of us that took the test at this point to the academic board. So I highly suggest the person who did it turn themselves in, or we're going to have a problem. It seemed like only 2 people, me and the other girl, the child, were really concerned about the person turning themselves in. Everybody else was concerned about who snitched. Now, doing further research into who could have possibly snitched, even though it doesn't matter who snitched, at this point, just turn yourself in, babes, because who cares about who snitched? Who cares? So going into further research, there's 2 ways you can, like, I'm sure there's multiple ways, but the 2 ways I've seen you can get into a group me is you send the link in a Zoom chat, or you do it over Blackboard. But listen, you know the Blackboard is connected to the professor, right? So when you send a message on Blackboard, the professor can see it. And in this particular class, my teacher had a TA, which is a teaching assistant. So what I think happened is the teaching assistant went into our group meet under a fake name, but we also didn't know each other's names because this was an asynchronous class. So we didn't know who was in our class because we didn't see each other on Zoom, or we didn't see each other in person. So we didn't really know who each other was. Like, we'd never seen each other before. So the person, I'm assuming the TA, joined the group chat to stake out for answers and stuff. And as soon as this trick, I'm using trick so I don't use other words. As soon as that female dog sent the answers in the group chat, the TA was like,
little do they know, I went undercover.
we'll carry the platypus. Like, so they're all like, oh my god, what do you benefit from snitching? Like,
what do you get from snitching? Like,
and I'm just like, who cares who snitched? Turn yourself in, babe. Turn yourself in. I was freaking out, so I sent like 2 emails. I sent an email to my professor saying, I have no way of proving it to you, but you saw me in the review session. Like, you saw I was trying to learn the material on my own, so what do I gain from cheating if I took my time to come to your review session, you know? And I said how I was on the dean's list last semester, so what do I look like cheating? Like, I sent that to my professor, and then I sent an email to my academic advisor explaining the situation and asking what to do. And she basically said, like,
tough titty babe, I don't know what to tell you. I don't condone those group chats. Yeah.
She basically just said tough titties. So yeah, but the girl ended up turning herself in. Don't know what happened to her. I really don't care. I would use a different finger than this one, but I got family watching. So I'm gonna do this because my little cousin used to do this thinking it was the middle finger. So this is for the girl that sent the answers in the group chat because you had no business being that extra. And I didn't have to like retake the test or anything, so. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting like little story time. But last 2 things I have on here, I was talking about the things I'm excited for in the spring semester. Here they are.
You feel me? Now, lastly, what I'm gonna talk about is just what I'm excited for this new semester. I'm really excited about my classes. I'm just really excited to meet new people. Lastly, I'm just really excited to meet new people. You start to see the exact same people on campus every day. And I live in the quad, so I can't really complain, but you can start seeing the same people every day. And you just get tired of looking up. I'm just excited to see new people, meet new people, make more friends, and see more fun men on campus. Because currently this election is absolute garbage. That's what I'm really excited for.
Yeah, so those didn't come true. I didn't really make too many new friends. Like I like had like small conversations with some new people that I wasn't talking to prior to the spring semester, but I don't really have any new friends and no more fine men. Like I didn't see any influx of fine men. Same raggedy football players I was seeing here, there, and everywhere, and even then they stopped coming outside. Like this girl, like I was once again seeing the same people every single day. No. Yeah, my expectations for the spring semester were not met. So yeah, that's the video, babes. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was entertaining for y'all, and I hope I kind of wrapped up my freshman year, kind of give you a picture of what my freshman year was like, what I learned. So I guess I can do what I'm excited for fall 2021, my first semester as a sophomore at Old Dominion University. I'm really excited because we're fully reopening. So I hope, and I'll be fully vaccinated, so I won't be as scared to go out places and like go to parties and stuff because I'll be fully vaccinated. Still wearing my mask. Don't get it twisted. Still wearing my mask, still keeping 6 feet. Still keeping 6 feet. And I will still be doing all that. that I won't be as scared like to go to parties and stuff and go to campus events. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to live in the village. I don't know if I talked about that in my last video or not, but I'm living in the University Village apartments. They're an apartment. It's a 4-bedroom apartment through the university, so I don't pay rent. I pay for through my tuition. I'm living with 2 of my friends and then a girl that chose to be in the room with us named Kaylee. She seems really cool. Seems like cool people, so I'm excited to live with them. I'm excited to cook. I'm not getting a meal plan this semester because I don't go to the dining hall, and you can upload flex points to your account, and $300 worth of flex points is cheaper than a $1,000 meal plan that you don't use to its full ability, because I'm not going to the dining hall, bro. Especially because I'm gonna cook. I'm excited to cook my own food, so always having like a home cooked meal and knowing it's good, because Broderick misses the bar every time. Like, the bar is set here and Broderick will, like, it misses the bar consistently. Anyone that tells you Broderick is good is a liar. It's a liar. I'm also a picky eater, so I don't have many options at Broderick, so I just don't like eating there. So I'm excited to live over in the village. Like, the village is just a nice area in general. I'm excited to have my car. I got a new car, so I can travel amongst Norfolk, travel home and back without like my parents having to come get me, driving an Uber. Like, I'm excited for all that. I'm trying out for the cheer team next week. Actually, I might vlog that experience as well, so hopefully I make the cheer team and I can give you guys a perspective as like a student athlete, and I like get to cheer at the games. I would love that so much. I'm also just excited to get a regular college experience, like as regular as it's gonna get for right now. I'm excited to join student organizations. I really want to join like student activity council. That looks like a lot of fun. They put on a lot of fun events on campus. I'm excited to join like Black Student Alliance, stuff like that, and to actually see them about, because they seem to have been really inactive over this past school year because of COVID, which is understandable. I'm just excited to have a normal college experience. This is basically like freshman year 2.0, but I'm a sophomore. Like, if you ask me, babe, I'm a sophomore, but experience-wise, I'm a freshman. And my little cousin's coming to ODU, so I'm excited for that too. Shout out to Nyla. She's coming to ODU. I'm excited to like show her around, give her the tea. Like, there's not much tea, but like give her the ins and outs of ODU. And yeah, I'm just not ready to go back to school because you actually have to do school. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for like the experiences of college. And having an apartment and cooking. Like, I'm so excited to cook and have my own apartment and my own room with a queen-size bed and my own closet. I have my own closet, but the queen-size bed, it's the creme de la creme. Girl, get into her. Get into it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Next video will probably be me filming my cheer tryout process. Come back for more videos. I'm going to try to film a lot throughout the summer, even though this channel is like college based and I'm not going to be in college until August. I'm going to try to film all my fun stuff I do for the summer to stay consistent. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, dusk, whatever it be for you. And see you next time.
Peace.